Hey guys, I just finished a recording and I did mention this in the video, but our breakouts were pretty bad. I literally recorded all 18 of our breakouts in this game, and there's probably one semi-successful one. I tried to bomb on you guys for like 20 minutes, but I don't want that to discourage you. I want you to see that we can improve so much as a team, and that, if that part was successful, I bet we would have beat the Bulldogs. Despite them having, a lot more skill. We could have played smarter, we would have beat them, I think. One problem, I guess, is our practices are not quite translating to the game. So what I need you guys to do is when you're playing a game, you need to think about where you're supposed to be, especially on these breakouts. I know thinking slows you down, but if you're on autopilot and you're practicing the same bad habits, you're not going to get better. You have to start by thinking out there, and it'll slow you down a little bit, but then it'll become automatic. Once that becomes automatic, you don't have to think about, oh, where am I supposed to be on a breakout anymore? And then you can implement other skills. You can think about other skills to get better. And then that part will slow you down, but you'll get better and better this way until a lot of things just become automatic. Hopefully this video will help, and maybe watch some of the past videos I sent on breakouts if you still don't quite understand everything. Alright, with our breakouts, let's start with a quick review. So let's say the other team, they dump it way down and it's not icing. Our first player closest to the puck, D or forward, doesn't matter. He's going to get the puck. Now if he's facing a little bit of pressure, our second D is going to try to come down for a D to D pass. This defenseman, or whoever the second player is usually going to mirror him. Okay, so if he goes to the other side, this player is actually going to go to this side. I'll get more about that later. Our wingers are going to try to get to a board, and we're going to try to get low, okay, not way up here. So wingers come down, come low. Alright, and if skating's a little bit better, inside reverse pivot perhaps, okay, if they're capable. Now, the center I haven't talked about too much, but the center is usually going to follow the puck. So the puck goes over here. It's going to just kind of follow it, and as soon as we make that first pass, he'll just kind of keep shadowing and open himself up for an option. But usually, I talked about not passing in the middle because it's a little bit dangerous. He's going to try to get the second pass. Alright. So I know I haven't talked about the center a whole lot, but we did work on some stuff with that, especially when we did the Leafs breakout drill. One thing I did mention, but I didn't actually show a video of it. It's in one of my other videos. But if the other team does dump it out and you have plenty of time where no one's pressuring or they're way back here still, you want to take the puck and just skate behind the net and stop, okay, and let your teammates set up. Meanwhile, the defenseman, he might have came out for a D-to-D pass, but once you see it's safe there, you can kind of just come to the middle and make sure to guard the front of the net in case we do make a turnover. Now, as he's waiting back here, this player comes up and he starts pushing him out one way. Then this defenseman can start skating out a little bit, look for that pass this way, and if he doesn't have that, that's where this D, he starts to get ready for a D-to-D pass. Don't cheat too early in case we cough it. We should just kind of just start going to this corner, and if this D needs help, you can just bank pass it to him. And that's how we'll start our D-to-D pass. Alright, so that's what we have for review. Let's see how all these look in practice. Alright, let's start with this first breakout. Now this is a little bit different because we're on a PK. So I know we only have 4, but we have to be able to adjust to that. So what happens is Matthias wins the faceoff, and he's the first one to the puck. We have a D here and a D here. Once that's Mason back there, once you see him win that puck, maybe you want to go out a little bit wider so you can make that D-to-D pass. Okay, if you didn't, then at least Connor could have done that. Okay, ideally I would have Connor go to a board and Mason be that second D-to-D pass. But in this case, none of you went there. And what's worse is there's no one on the board. So we'll see Matthias. He kind of just gets the puck and he just fires it around that way. Okay. And somebody should have been there. Now that's really on the fault of everybody. Somebody should have been there, but at the same time, you have to look up real quick and see, hey, if nobody's there, then you have to make a different decision. Okay, so it is a little tough. It's a screw up on both parts. One thing I do want to mention too is the D. You can cover in front of the net, but once you see that he has it for sure, like nobody's putting that much pressure, you want to hurry up and go out for a D to D pass. All right. So let's move to the next one. This is still on the PK. Now we'll see Mason go after the puck in that corner. All right. Now, I talked about this. If you have time, perhaps you can skate it behind the net. Go to that quiet zone. Okay. But in this case, Connor does a good job making going back there for a D to D pass. Abby, she did okay going on the board, but I'll talk about a problem there was with that. Matthias. Now we have 4 skaters. You technically, as a center, I suppose you could be in that position, but as a center, or if we had 5 skaters, that'd be okay. But we have 4. I need you on a board. I'd rather have you on a board, and you're gonna see exactly why. We'll keep looking at Abby. All right, so there's a very subtle difference between. Well, it's a big difference, and it may seem subtle. Is that the way she turned, and then there's a player in front of her versus going to the board a little bit past where that ref is. So just to pull this rink up real quick, you see one of our opponents here, and then Abby just kind of went to the board, but then she just kind of skated without going to the actual board and skated past them. And you have to think, well, if Mason passes to you, this person's going to get the puck. Okay. Got to think a little bit there. Maybe it's better if you went straight to the board and stayed low over here. It's a lot harder. And now if they cheat, then he can perhaps give you a pass up. Okay? All right, so let's get rid of this. All right, now you see Connor drop down for a DD pass. Now I know the boards are kind of suck where the puck just sticks on the board. So we want to throw a little bit softer so he can handle it. You have plenty of time, but we have nobody on the board. Alright, so this kind of is a failed breakout again. Alright, next breakout attempt. We'll see someone just dumps the puck in. Jackson was the first one to get it. Now the 2 guys that have a problem of what I call heads down hockey, where you're never looking up and you guys tend to fire the puck, just throw it out. You don't want to play like that, alright? The big difference between being a good player at this level and being below average is if you're a heads down player. I think both you, Connor, Jackson, you 2 are probably the main culprits of this. But so we see him get the puck down here. Now Connor, you want to hurry up and shadow. You can take either side in this case. If you saw right away he was going to get it, you could have gone right there right away. If you see he's going to keep skating back there, that's fine. You can drop the other way. All right, but you don't want to just stay in the middle and not be an option. Now, our 2 forwards, again, you guys didn't go to a board, either board, and that's a problem. Now, Jackson, you just kind of randomly throw it out, and you can argue somebody is supposed to be there, and you're right, but at the same time, you have plenty of time to just look up. You have someone who's soft forechecking you. There's not putting too much pressure, and we failed to break out again, and we're just going to run it just for a little bit more, because, again, you get the puck. It's still a good 5 feet away from you, and you just kind of ice it. All right, that's little kid hockey. We have to try to maintain control. That's what you see at the younger age groups. They get the puck, hot potato, let's just throw it out. Let's just throw it out. That's not good hockey, okay? Next, we see this kid, Aiden, who's really fast. He skates right after Connor and puts a lot of pressure. And you see how I think every single player is probably not a great position. This guy's hauling his butt after Connor. You guys have to hurry up and get in position. We need somebody here, okay, and perhaps a D to D. And I think all 4 of you are out of position. We have nobody along the board. So Connor, feeling the pressure, gets it, flings it out, and well, he did a good job forechecking. But even still, you guys weren't in the right position. I don't know if you could have done anything with that, but either way, we have 4 guys in the wrong spot. Okay, here, now Connor, one problem you have is you'll always get the puck, take it on the forehand, go around this way, and fire it out. you need to stop up and try to go the other way sometimes. You can also backhand pass it. So just see here, gets the puck. Evan, you got to stay on the board back there. Mason is okay. He's in front. I think that's Mason. I could be wrong. But once he starts wrapping around, okay, you want to drift the other way in case Connor wants to give you that bank pass behind the net. Okay, Evan, you need to be more on the board. You'll see Noah here. He has his he has his head turned and he's trying to receive it on the backhand. I'm gonna actually bring up the rink. Hang on. All right, receiving zones, as I constantly talk about, are here, low. Okay, maybe even up to here, but I want you guys low. Now, what we saw Noah did here is he kind of just skated down, and he's just trying to get that pass on his backhand. You do not want to receive it like this. All right, that's a very tough pass for one thing. And also, you're leaving yourself very vulnerable to somebody else hitting you. I know you can't hit in this league, but someone could easily bump into you, and you're going to get blindsided. All right, you need to skate down, and you need to receive it on your inside, okay? Not on the backhand side. That's a very hard pass, too, because the puck might just, like, bank right off the board right there, all right? That's why you need to swing low. All right, and unfortunately, this is yeah. Well, you guys saw what happened there. I mean, the guy's right in his face, even if it was a clean pass. Okay, it might have been a clean pass, but he's right in his face. So for Connor, you see someone skating a bad route like that, you gotta just hold it. You have plenty of time to just hold and pass it the other way anyway. All right, that's what good defensemen do too. Oops, sorry, hold on. I got notes to just keep running this, so hang on. Okay, this happens shortly after. So this one's actually not too bad. So Connor, he gets the puck. Okay, now Evan, you stop and you're calling for the puck in the middle. Right? We generally don't want to do that. You should be on a board. Our D is just kind of drifting. I think that is Mason. You gotta hurry up and help him D to D. Okay, or yeah, D to D would be ideal. Also, with this much time, Connor, you can always take the puck and just go behind the net. Go to the quiet zone. Now, with that said, this is actually not a bad play. We have no on the board. That's pretty good. Okay, you get the puck. Now, the problem here, though, is Jake as a center, you want to work on a little bit of timing. So we did work on a few of these drills, but with that first pass here, he passes the center. You don't want to just slowly and have your back turned as you're receiving for him. Okay, in general, you don't want your back turned as a center when you're receiving, or you don't want to be skating backwards. I mean, so instead, you want to time it so that by the time Noah gets the puck, you're starting to really pick up speed. So right when he passes, boom, you can race off. All right. So this one isn't terrible, but I think we didn't get that out. So hold on, I think there's a few more here. Okay, so again, Connor gets the puck, and you just panic and fling out. All right, that's what I meant by just throwing the puck out. Well, okay, that's sort of a pass. I'm not sure. Hold on. All right, I don't know. Okay, and two things you could have done there. So this looks a little bit better if you could have just got it to Jake somehow, or chip it out faster instead of stick handling out. Yeah, I think that's all for that one. Yeah. All right, second period. Here we see Cotter. Very good job supporting for a D-to-D pass. He goes in the right position. Now Jackson, you get the puck, but you fling it a little bit hard. All right, you should know you can just do a soft bank pass to Carter there instead of rolling it. Anytime you guys roll it around the board or rim it around the board, it's harder to pick up. Whereas if you can give a tape-to-tape pass, it's easier. Let's see. In this case, though, Ken's in a good spot, so he is getting to the board, so he gets it. Now, unfortunately, this is where our center, Matthew. All right, you don't want to start already drifting way up here. You want to come down and swing up. All right. So if we go back a little bit, oh, sorry, hold on. We go back a little bit here. You want to start already going low. So you come down. You should already be skating down, and then follow that pass when it goes to Carter, and you start picking up speed. So Ken could just tip it to you really quickly. Okay, now we see. I think that's Noah, if I'm not mistaken. That's an okay position. But you want to be low. Okay, you want to be low. They already flung it out, so I guess it's okay to turn around, but you still want to be a little bit lower. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. Next one. Alright, so you see him shoot the puck, it goes behind the net. Now Jackson's just going to fire it around without watching. Matthew, you probably want to get a little bit more to the board right away. You guys can all see that Jackson's easily going to beat everybody to the puck. So then you can get in position right away. You have Ken kind of just drifting toward the middle. No, you want to get to the board. And so Jackson gets it, he whacks it. And another thing I want to say, don't slap shot, guys. If you don't have a wrist shot, you should probably not slap shot. It's not very effective. It just takes more time. A wrist shot was just a lot better. Okay, now if you have a good wrist shot already or snapshot, then you can start using the slap shot. All right, you'll see more of that later, I think, if I pull them up. Anyway, here, so you have plenty of time. You can get the puck and just pass it to this board instead. I think one of the problems too is nobody's really talking. You can say, you know, hold. You have time, something. We need somebody talking out there. It could be anyone. Okay, so that kind of just goes to no one, and then we'll see a short one or another one shortly after. All right, and here it is off the dump in. You see Carter. Okay, so the puck is stuck on the board, so Carter's trying to dig it out. But even before he digs it out, though, we're still not really in the right position anyway. So he's trying to dig it out. Matthew might go in the right position. I can't tell. So Ken, you're calling for it up here. Now we don't want to receive it there. Okay, we want to receive on a board, and if you're center, perhaps a little bit lower in the zone, but not up here. All right, and so we see Carter's trying to dig it out. The puck, you know, I know the board sucks, but you have Jackson just sitting in front of that. You probably should help for a D to D, so he can just kind of throw it over there if you needed to. Right, and I think that, you know, I mean, whether it resulted in them taking the puck or not, someone, you know, we still got to be in position. All right, next one, we see Connor get the puck. All right, he kind of always tends to go that way. Now, we have nobody really going to this board. All right, I know the play is going this way, but someone's got to come down along that board anyway. Now, we see Abby go to this board, except the problem is she stops right here. And as you're about to see, even if Connor wants to pass to her, it's going to get picked off by Aiden. All right, you have to go lower. Okay. Now, wisely, since you're skating full speed, it's okay to skate up. This is a bit of a... I'd rather have you just stop up, though, and let everybody set up, because this is a bit of a dangerous pass right there. That's usually okay if you have it, but this player easily could have picked it off. If you go back to, you have her head down the whole time. This is where, if you're going to have a long stick, you need to really practice that stick handling, so you're not looking down. You have your head down, right? And then you kind of just pass it that way with your head down, too. Extra note I want to add to this. So Ken, you skate up, and he closes you off at the blue line. We don't want to just blindly throw it to the middle. You want to, if you get closed off before that blue line, then chip it in. Get that puck in these corners. I'm going to talk about zone entry, I think, if I have enough time later on. But when the zone entry strategies, dump it in. Okay. Alright, this one's pretty similar. Connor, you get the puck. Alright, you keep skating. You should just hit the brakes right here. As that player's going to come across the net, you should just hit the brakes. Mason, good position for a D-to-D pass. Dodge just got out the bench, so it's going to be tough for him to catch up. But Abby, you want to go low. Okay, there's no way he can pass it to you. There's just no way. Instead, he has to just wildly throw it out. Basically, when we do these, when we dump these out, you're just giving the team the other puck. Right? I'm not saying the other teams are very good at this either, but as you get better, you want to play with control. You don't just give pucks to the other team. Okay, you do that if you're in a lot of trouble. This case, we're not in a lot of trouble. Okay. All right, and this looks kind of very similar. Now we see Dodge in a very good position though. Dodge in a good position, Abby pretty good. But you want to go a little bit lower, and Mason, you want to go for that D to D pass right there. Now, this is why you want to stop up, though, or you should have flung it right away. Because now you threw it a little bit late. You handle it, and then you got closed off, and then they took it. And this was a case where our players were actually in a pretty good position for the most part. Now in the third period, this one comes off a shot. We see Carter get the puck behind the net. Now, good job exhibiting a little bit of patience here. However, our receiver's not in a good position. All right, he's got to get to the board, not here. All right, we don't receive the puck. We don't receive it here. All right, we don't want to do that. That's a no-no. All right, we need to receive it here. If we cough it up, it's okay. All right. So with that in mind, if this player's not in the right position, rather than pass it to him, you can pass it D to D. I'm not sure who that is. It might be Mason, but he's in a good. Oh, it's Jackson. Right, he was in a good spot. You want to do a D to D there instead. Remember, you always have two options, 1 and 2. Someone's not in the right position. Hopefully, your second guy is. Connor, I did talk to you about this in the game, but so you get the puck here. Now, Dodge goes toward the board. Perfect. Great job. You need to headman it now. Okay, what the headman means is if your teammate is open, and even if it's 1 or 2 steps ahead of you, you gotta just give it to him. Right? Instead, I mean, this resulted pretty badly, where instead someone caught up to you, and then you just fired it in, and then that resulted in icing. I mean, you had both these guys for quite a while. They could have rushed it up instead. Right? We got to headman the puck, guys. We don't want to skate it out of the zone unless nobody's open. All right. In general, you pass it out. Move the puck. The puck moves faster than anyone's skating. This is right off the next face-off. So we win it. It kind of goes back here, and Jackson gets the puck and just blindly fires it out. All right. Again, we don't want to do that. Let's set up for a D to D pass. This winger here, once we win it, you wanna hustle down to the board. Okay. And well, that results in them keeping the puck in. And this one, we see Carter get the puck, dodged perfect, right in the perfect position on this board right here. Now we see Jake kind of just drifting toward the middle. Remember, you don't want to receive it like this, okay? So don't present an option. Make sure you skate a little bit and shadow him as a center. Right, now we see Abby kind of taking her sweet time getting to that corner, right? You need to hustle and get down here for that pass quickly. Right, instead, you stop. Now you have to think, if you stop here, can this guy take the puck? He can easily take the puck. So that's why I want you guys in deep. Okay, so I'm not sure what the heck happened. I think Carter's waiting. Okay, and then he kind of tried to fling it to Abby towards the middle. Yeah. Right here, we're on a PK, so we win the puck back, and Abby's going to get it, skate behind the net, and then she does this. Right? Don't want to do that. If you can't tell what's happening, she threw it right up the middle. Right? And, I mean, this did result in a breakaway and Matthews scoring. Well, later on right here, I think. Okay, but, yeah, that's why I'd rather have you guys not throw up the middle. Really, someone should have been on a board right away, but you also have a D to D pass back here. Okay. All right, here's the last breakout of the game. So we see Connor, he has plenty of time, he gets the puck. Well, he coughs it a little bit, or fumbles it. Now this is where, Ken, you want to hurry up and get to that spot. It took you a little, because you're coasting, you're going to get the puck while going downward, right? Which is not necessarily the best thing. Evan, you want to stay on this board. It actually would have been best if Connor's backhanded to you, because you're wide open. That would have been the easiest way to get out. Right? Instead, he gets it out, Ken gets it, and you kind of just get smothered. Alright, those are all the breakouts, guys. Those were literally every single breakout in the game. I hate to bomb you guys on this one, but we didn't really have any successful break. Maybe like one or two, but we worked a lot on this in some of the practices, and it is a little disappointing to say the least. This team was we could have easily beat this team, I think, if we just did a lot of these things right. That said, we'll work more on this. I'll try to figure out ways to make things more game-like so you guys can understand what's going on. Hopefully, we have all of you show up to these practices too. And we have half of you show up. It's gonna hurt the entire team no matter what if everyone's not on the same page. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on to zone entry if we have time. These will go much quicker. All right, I want to cover zone entry a little bit. I don't expect you guys to be as good as zone entry because we just went over this. And probably not all of you were at that practice. All right, so the first one, see Jake get the puck, and you see this guy, I think it's Cooper, he's about to cut you off. So you get cut off here. All right, and I can see you're already going toward the middle. I'd rather have you just dump it deep on this side. It's easier. Alright. But with that said, that's okay. At least you got it in deep, but then you did this. Okay, you passed it to nobody. So that's not the best thing. Now this one's a little bit tougher because Matthew just got it right off the face-off. But the hard part about going up the middle is you have 4 guys surrounding you. This is why I said going up the middle takes a lot more skill. Even if you beat this guy, you have this guy on your back, him on your back, and you have this second defender to deal with. So ideally, I'd rather have you just either pass it to Matthias on the right, or you skate it wide, and you can either try to beat him or you can just dump it in. And it is tough though. This is a little bit more bang bang. So, yeah, a little more forgivable for that one. All right, this is a decent zone entry. So Abby gets the puck here. Now, ideally, I'd rather have her head man it quickly to Matthew since he's ahead of her, but that's okay. Not the worst thing. Now, we talked about F1, drive wide. That's good. F2 does what? He is F2, middle lane drive, and you see Matthew do that. Well done. All right, and she does get the shot off, okay? So, well done. Okay, here is okay. You see Matthew skating up. All right, and you start cutting towards you're kind of just going a straight line. I wish you went a little bit wider, and you just used one hand to protect him. Okay, and give them just a little bit of time so they can charge in, because they are both hustling, which I like. Okay, so that was okay, almost. Oh well, we did get a rebound there. Not bad, but you want to drive just a little bit wider, especially against a good player like Cooper. All right, next we see Carter with the puck, starts getting a little bit of speed. And it looks like you're about to get closed off. You might want to dump it in. Right? If you're going to dangle, you better get it through him. Okay, and I think we went offside because of Ken. There are a lot of offsides this game, by the way. So we have to really clean that up. It's not that hard. Was that offside or penalty? Maybe it was a penalty? I'm not sure. All right, well, either way, just Carter, I guess. I mean, if you can hold on to the puck, as long as you don't cough at that blue line, it's okay. But maybe dumping might be easier. Okay, think about that. All right, we see Jake here, one-on-one. These times you can go up the middle, but look, a lot of players, even this is Braden here, and he's a good skater, but even his backward skating is probably not as good as your forward skating. The easiest way to get around a guy is to skate around the guy, okay, not through him. Okay. Right? If you just drive wide, it makes it a lot harder where you could just, boom, move this way. You have somewhere coming in, okay? Remember, F2, just be sure hard middle lane drive. Okay? And unfortunately, that was the result of that. Now, Ken, you have good skill, but instead of stick handling there, a lot of times you can just beat your player with speed. He has his feet pointing this way. You can just put the puck on the board and just skate hard around him. But then the more you stick handle like that, it slows you down a little. Right there, see, you could just skate right around him, but that slowed you down. Now, once we get that in the zone, okay, it's not super important to keep in the zone, but at the same time, if you can, then you might as well. And here is where we should just implement that cycle. All right, that was one of the options we talked about on the zone entry. Just cycle it. your teammates should actually anticipate going this way, not, well, that's okay too, you're wide open. But one of your teammates need to be covering behind here. Yeah. Instead, yeah, you took the puck out of the zone, which isn't the worst thing, but then, yeah, in that spot, it's probably better just to keep it in. Yeah. Alright, this zone entry was a bit of a disaster. First of all, you're too close to him. I know we want short passes, but you're practically holding his hand, okay? You need to spread out a little more if you want that pass. Okay, which is good. You did widen out a bit. That's good. So at this point, though, right here, Carter, you want to just get that in deep. Okay, got a lot of bodies around. It's going to be hard to just control it and walk in. Just get it in deep. Skate in around the blue line. Get it into these corners. All right, make your forwards work for it. What you don't want to do, though, is if you cough it up here. Now, we were offside anyway, which, I mean, come on, guys. We got to stay on side. But unfortunately, it didn't matter. Because, unfortunately, they took the puck, and this resulted in a goal. Okay, I think it... Oh, goal? Maybe... Oh, I think it's off a rebound here. Alright, this is easily preventable. Right? We lost 5-3. We could have easily prevented probably 3-4 of these goals. Okay, here we see Carter with the puck. Now, I would suggest not to dangle out of the zone. You can't cough that before the blue line. But this one... Oh, man. Alright, you gotta have a lot of confidence in doing it. You better not cough it up. Another thing, I mean, it's bang bang. Understandably, like, you didn't have time to really just skate it out easily, okay? But try not to dangle in general on either line. You want to start dangling once you're in the offensive zone. Okay. Here, so this is what I mean by the stick handling. Instead of stick handling, just like with Ken, you just want to use your speed. Put the puck on one hand and just burst in there and beat him. Because you do have a half step on him. Looks like you can beat him. But the stick handling actually slows you down just a tad. Alright. That was a good zone entry though in general. Alright, this one looks good. Matthew gets the puck, drives wide. Okay. And I think that's dodge. Now, it's okay. Like I said, we call it middle lane drive. You want to make sure you're a little more in the middle of that net. Let me see how far towards the middle you went, but okay. That's not bad. That's not too bad. A far post drive. Alright, not bad. But either way, he's hustling in, right? F2, you hustle in through that middle. Okay. So that was a very good zone entry. We see Matthew shoot it. Not bad at all. This one, very simple. Okay, you take the puck in. If you can't beat him, then you go ahead and dump it in. Alright, dumping's the last resort, but you don't want to cough the blue line. Well done there. Alright, nice and simple. But, that's right. I forgot to mention this part, though. After you dump it in, though, you're not just coasting it and letting him take the puck. You need to dump it in, and you need to go straight after it. Okay, dog on a bone mentality. You want the puck. You're going to put full pressure on them. Alright, make them panic, make them make a bad pass. We're not dumping it in and then just easing up. Alright, have the puck. You going hard after them. Okay, and they did cough it. It's like, oh, well, okay, that's right. I actually just let it go, I remember now. Yeah. Yeah, as Jake couldn't pick it off the board. Yeah, that's right. Alright, so Ken, you get the puck here. You have him beat. But you try to come back toward the middle, alright? You should have just kept going a little bit wide. And you have Matthew hauling his butt, okay? So, you go wide enough, you can give Matthew enough time to just pass it to him for a breakaway. And unfortunately, you skate a little bit more towards the middle, and, well, Cooper caught you easily. Alright, sorry, I thought we had one more. But that was the last of it. Zone entry, not terrible. We didn't have too many opportunities, but we will get a lot against the weaker teams, and I'll try to cover it more in the last few practices we have. Alright, see you guys next time.